Hello all, so we're going to be making this pretty nice bench out of a pallet. It'll be super fast, easy, and next to free. So you have to take off one of the end boards on either end. I'm going to take off this side because it's broken to get to the blocks underneath. So I took the end off and I'm just going to hammer in these nails for structural integrity of the pallet. So now you see it with the end board removed, and I'm going to cut this into two sections of 3 of the cross boards. And I'm going to put on this block. I'm going to attach those together. So I'm going to make a cut right between the 2 sections of 3, and I'm going to cut both ends and the middle plank. All right, here goes. So now I've separated the 2 pieces, and I've got to cut this little notch off because this will ultimately be where people sit. This will be the front of the bench part. So I've cut those off, and now I'm going to pick up one of these halves and put the end blocks on top of the other ends blocks. And I'm going to balance the cross slats on each other, as you can see, which gives it a little bit of an angle. You could do some complicated stuff to angle the back block and make it really flush, but I'm really doing this just for speed and ease's sake. And, you could build this entire thing in 10 minutes for real. These joints are going to be really important, actually, because they're going to be load-bearing when you're sitting on the bench. So I'm going to use these 7-inch lag bolts that you put in with a socket wrench. I'm going to drill a little bit of a hole first. Each block that's on top of the other block will get 2 7-inch lag bolts. So there you have it. It's looking pretty benchy. Now I'm making this for this little play area that I've been building for my sons. And it may be their bench, so I might not actually put it on any sort of riser, but we'll see how it turns out. Now, it's pretty rough if you feel it. So the one place where I'm really going to actually put in some work is in the sanding and finishing. So in terms of sanding, I'm going to use 3 different grits that are graduated, so lower to higher. So the flop is going to be the 60 grit, 100 grit, and then the river 240. So that's going to take a little bit of time, but it's really going to make the finish nice and smooth. And that's important to turn, a pretty rough piece of wood into something that's going to at least feel pretty nice in the end. So there you have it. It feels pretty smooth now. There's still some roughness where the sander didn't get to. And I kind of did like an almost bevel look or quasi-rotted look on the edges. And I kind of sanded the corners down in case my kids kind of smack into it. So I'm going to stain it with this deck sealant and stain. It's goof-proof, thankfully, but it's really going to seal it in and help kind of get rid of the roughness as well. I'm going to slow this part down because I love staining, so just check this out and enjoy it.
Oh yeah, get in that grain.
This stuff just eats up stain because the wood is so kind of cheap and porous. And there we have it. It's looking pretty good. The wood really now is sealed, so like this, anything that was kind of splintery before is almost like plasticky in its feel. And goof-proof! So I am going to put some spar urethane on top of the deck stain. And that's, this is a pallet, and it is kind of cheap looking. So I'm almost trying to like get it a little bit more refined by some extra work in the finishing area. So this will give it like a nice semi-gloss feel and again seal in some of the roughness of the wood. So you can see it now. This is after 1 coat of spar urethane. I'm going to sand it. And there's the second coat. You can see the shine there. That's because it hasn't dried yet, but it's really thick and now it's dry, and really the wood has a much nicer feel and look to it. So kind of made the pallet wood both structurally nicer as well as aesthetically. And there's the bench. I did put it on some just 4x4 risers, just really simple, because I'm going to just helicopter parent from this bench now, I've decided. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope you build one. Super easy, super cheap, super fun. Thanks for watching.